What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is Web Dev Journey, and in today's video we're going to be talking about another little flavor that Prometheus, that Kubernetes gives us. All right, we're going to exploit another capability, and that is adding metrics or monitoring our applications for metrics like CPU consumption, CPU/memory consumption, HTTP request responsiveness. Actually, with Prometheus, guys, the amount of metrics is just astounding. There's a lot of metrics that you could just keep track of inside your application, and we're going to be adding this to our application. I hope that made sense, right? So Prometheus is a tool that Kubernetes uses that helps us monitor metrics. All right, there's a lot of metrics that you can monitor: CPU, memory, all those things. I'm just repeating what I said. I don't know why, but I'm just repeating it so that way it sticks into your head. So that's what we're going to be doing today, okay? So let's just get started, because this is going to be a lot that we're going to be covering. This is actually a lot of steps that go into this one, all right? The first of which, if you click on view on GitHub, I already have it open, you should be brought to this page, and we do need to install a module that they provide for us, is AppMetrics Prometheus. Now, before we install this, guys, before you install it, make sure you have Node.Gip. I don't even know how you pronounce it, Node.Gip, Gip, whatever. Make sure to install this, because it uses this module. So make sure to install this before you do anything, okay? You will get warnings, or you will get errors if you don't have this installed. Now, it might be easy for Linux and Mac, I'm not too sure, but for Windows, I don't know why you always have to do some stupid other step. So once you install this, for Windows, you're going to want to install the global Windows build tools as well. And once you have that, you're ready to go, all right? But I'm not too sure about Linux and Mac, so don't. I'm not talking about Linux and Mac, I'm talking about Windows. So anyways, once you have that installed, go back over here, and we're going to install AppMetrics Prometheus. So copy this, head on over to your terminal, and paste that sucker right in there, and install it. It should be pretty fast and straightforward. There we go. So once you have it installed, go into your application, make sure it is installed. It is right there, AppMetrics, and now we just need to use it in our application. Now, there are various ways they tell you to use it. You could do this, or even this down here, or you could even have options, which we're not going to get into that much. All we're going to be doing is just requiring it in our application. So grab this first bit of code right here, copy that, and then in our applications, and then the bin run right above right here, I'm gonna just paste that sucker right there. Control save this. Now, you might be wondering, what does AppMetrics Prometheus does? What does this module do for us? All right. And if you go back to the browser, to their GitHub, it's literally, this is just something that Prometheus is going to be using. We're not using Prometheus just yet. This is something that Prometheus is going to be hooking to. What this does is provides a /metrics endpoint, which is necessary for Prometheus monitoring, all right? And this /metrics endpoint is going to have data consisting of, the CPU, the memory, HTTP, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So back inside your application, once you have this running, make sure just to run it to see if it actually does work. So npm start your application, and if you go to the browser, go to localhost 3000. Okay, your application is running. But if you add that /metrics, now like I said, /metrics is something that module gave us. It created this endpoint for us. We didn't do anything, all right? It created this for us. If you go to /metrics, you should see all this data that is giving us. It's giving you things like CPU used ratio gauge, right? It's giving you things like process CPU used, all right? It's a lot of things. Obviously, this is very, very hard to read. So what we're going to be doing now is setting up Prometheus, so that way we could, use charts and make this more readable for us, all right? But we're not using Prometheus right now. We need to install Prometheus into our Kubernetes cluster, right? So luckily, I was going to say, luckily Helm does help us a lot on this. But before we get into that, since we did add a new feature, we do need to, package it up, send it off to Docker Hub so that way we could use that image. Clear this. So I think I have one up here already. Let me see. Where is it at? So to build the image, obviously you need to build the image. Just make sure to run this docker build -t node server run, -f docker file run dot. We've done this before. This is nothing different. We have done this before. Hit enter, and this is going to take a while. So I'll be back once this is done. All right, now I'm back. All right, now that it's done, we do need to tag it. So remember Docker images. You should have this. Where is it at? Not this Prometheus. I need to install that but you should have this node server run right here, latest. Now we do need to tag it so that way we could save it in our namespace. So if I just go up some, I do have it already. I don't want to rewrite everything. Here we go. So Docker tag node server run, and then namespace / node server 1.2.0. Now, the reason I did a 1.2 right here is because we added a new feature. So this is technically a 1.2 for the feature, 0.0 still. So if I hit enter, we should tag it. Now, if I do Docker images, I should have that right here. There it is, 1.2. Now, what I want to do is push that to Docker Hub. So I'm going to do Docker push web dev journey, whatever, node server 1.2.0, push it, and this might take a while. So what we're going to be doing is going to Docker Hub if it's not already up. No, I don't have Docker Hub. So what I'm gonna do is just say hub.docker. There we go. If I go to inside a web server, node server, if I go to tags, there it is, 1.2.0. It must have finished already. Yep, it finished. So 1.2.0 right there. Now we have our image up in the cloud with Docker Hub. And now what we want to do is in values, we actually want to use that new image. So 1.2.0, and I'm only doing 2 instances because if you do 5, those charts are going to be kind of nasty looking. So I'm just doing 2 for right now. And now, if you go back to your terminal, we do need to tell Helm, hey, we just upgraded, so just use the upgraded version. So Helm upgrade, and we're going to upgrade node server with the charts of node server, and there you go. Now, if you paste in that command that we always use, paste it right there, hit enter. This is the port number. I always forget the port number even though it's always the same. But now if you go to let's go right here. If you go to localhost, paste that, you should have your application running, which it is. And if you do /metrics, which is a new thing that we added, you should see the metrics that yes. So we do have the metrics still running. So that means that Kubernetes is now up to date with the new feature that we added, which is awesome. All right, this is great. But like I said in the previous, or like not in previous video, like a few seconds or a few minutes before, now that we have this /metrics, now we need Now we need to install Prometheus into our Kubernetes cluster. Luckily, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Luckily, Helm Hub already has support for Prometheus, so we could just go over to Helm Hub, and it's actually called Artifact Hub. So I'll have this down below, artifacthub.io. And if you type in Prometheus in here, Prometheus, just click on the official image or the official chart and install it. Okay, you will be needing to install the repository. So just copy this and install it into your right here. I already have it installed, so I'm not going to be doing it. And then once you have that installed, you do need to install the chart as well. So just copy that and go in here and paste it in there. Oh, wow. Sorry. Make sure to name it whatever you want to name it. Right now, the name is My Prometheus, which I don't really want. So I'm going to just uninstall this really quick. There you go. And I'm gonna reinstall it, but I'm gonna change the name to Prometheus. That is it. Now if I do that same command that I've always done, which was, what is it, like manifest? Yeah, but instead of nodeserver, I want to search for things called Prometheus. And there we go. Now some things are still deploying, as you can see right here, available 000. We need these to be ones. So we're still waiting for for Kubernetes to deploy these. Now if I keep on refreshing, there you go. We have one now, but we still need 2 more. So we're going to just wait a bit until that's done and ready. Let me try that one more time. And there you go. We have everything up and going. So now we need to set up Prometheus. Now, if you do, what was it called? Helm status Prometheus. This is going to give you some instructions to follow, so that way we could run to get the Prometheus server running. And don't worry about these, because you are going to get a lot of things right here, and these are different ways to see Prometheus. The first one is the server, the second one is getting the alert manager, and the third one is pushgate, which we don't really want pushgate or alert manager. All we're wanting to run is a server. So what I'm going to be doing is grabbing this export, but for Windows you do have to do it differently. I know. $sign first and then insert that pod name. If you hit enter, great. Now come over here and grab this, and then down below paste it. Now you should be forwarding. Yes, everything's forwarding, which is great. So if we go over, remember this port number is 9090. If we go over to our local host and type in 9090 as our port, we should get, there you go, we have Prometheus running, which is amazing, right? Now some things that we could do right off the bat, we could go to status, we could go to targets, and we're going to see that if you scroll down just a bit, we're going to see that we have right here, sorry, I'm tongue twisted right now. Prometheus is actually looking up everything that has /metrics in our local machine. And the only thing that has /metrics is Kubernetes itself, and also our application. And you can see that right here, chart right here, node server 1.0.0. Go down a little bit more. There's a lot of things, right? But it is monitoring our application, which is pretty cool. Now, if you go to graph, and right here, we could enter a query, what we want to see. So if I type in OS underscore, there it is, underscore CPU used ratio, and I type in graph or hit graph, you're going to see that, hey, look, it's actually monitoring our applications, the 2 applications, the 2 servers, or the 2 instances that we have running. And it's actually telling us what's the CPU and how much is it using, which is pretty cool. It's actually very, very cool. And like I said, you could be looking up any other metrics, like the HTTP request. There you go. See that request duration in microseconds. If we hit execute, there you go, and you're gonna see that is actually keeping track of that /check/ready, because Kubernetes is making requests to these endpoints, like I said, to /live/ready, just to make sure our application is running. But here you go. But even with this, guys, this is kind of hard to read, right? And we're actually going to be using another package that Kubernetes lets us use, and that is called Grafana. Now, Grafana works with Prometheus and it just makes it easier to build custom charts and custom dashboards, and you're going to see how it's actually very, very cool. It's much more better to visualize, so that's why we're going to be using it. And like I said, since it's going to be using Kubernetes, we could use Helm to help us out with this kind of stuff, right? So if we actually type in Grafana and get right here the very first one, and there you go, Grafana Helm chart. So to install it, you do need to add the repository, which I've already done, and install the chart. So copy this, because I haven't done that yet. And I do need to open up another, what's it called? PowerShell. Oh, make sure you're in administration mode. Right here, run as administrator, yes. All right, I do need to cd into my what's it called? Folder. Copy this. Paste, home, cd, and there we go. All right, so again, go to your browser, copy this right here, paste it, and I'm actually going to be calling it Grafana. That is it, Grafana. All right, there it is. Oh God. Okay, first of all, uninstall it. Uninstall it really quick. I forgot to do something, so uninstall. Grafana actually uses username and password, so we do need to set up that initial password. So right here, once you paste that in there, space -- set, and we want to set the admin password, and we want to set that to equal to whatever you want. So I'm going to say password lowercase, that's it. Now hit enter, and there you go. We have Grafana installed, which is pretty amazing. Now what I want to do is actually see if Grafana is being run good. So I'm gonna do Helm manifest, that command I always give you, and type in Grafana, and we should see yes, everything is a go, which is good. This is good. This is actually good. So everything's running according to plan, right? So now, man, the recording software just shut down, so I'm right here. So what I did, now that we made sure Grafana is actually installed correctly in our machine, all we need to do is run Grafana on our local machine. So if you type in Helm status Grafana, it's going to give you some commands to actually get Grafana up and running. Now you could ignore the very first one, just ignore it. On the second one, this is where you want to do. You're going to have to do the same thing we did with Prometheus. Export, this whole command line. If you do that, to make sure in Windows you add that $, pod name, whatever. And then the second command, which is this, just copy that and paste it into your command terminal right here. And once you have that running, you should see this, it's forwarding, right? This means that it's just port mapping, right? So now if you go to Grafana is actually up and running. So if you go to localhost 3000, now remember 3000 is a port that we usually use in our local machine, but we're not running nothing in 3000, or we shouldn't be, right? Since our application is running via Docker containers, we should have 3000 free. So if you don't have 3000 free, just change this to any other port that you want to. Just change this to whatever, 8081, 75621. I don't know. I have no idea, dude. Just type whatever you want. Just change it to another port, right? But just go to localhost 3000. Let's go to our browser. Let's go to localhost 3000. There you go. And you should get a welcome to Grafana page. Now, admin is your username and password, whatever the password you set up. Password. And there we go. Now we're inside of Grafana. Now, like I said, Grafana is a tool to build out custom dashboards. And yeah, but in order to get that dashboard running, we do need data first. So we do need to connect Grafana to Prometheus. So if you hit add your first data source right here, we're going to click on Prometheus, obviously. Down here, we do need to give the URL that Prometheus is running on, and that's actually pretty easy to figure out. So if we actually open up a terminal, let me clear this out. Type in Helm status Prometheus, and go up above right here on notes. The very first thing right here, this is the URL that our Prometheus is running on. So if I just copy this, go back to our browser, and make sure to type in http:// and then paste that sucker in there, and there you go. This is the URL, and that's all we really need. So once you have that pasted in there, save and test, everything should be good. Data source is working. And if we go back to, okay, now that we have the data source, now we could display our charts. So if I go to dashboards home, we don't have anything right now. We don't have a dashboard. We do need to create our own dashboards. But luckily for us, hold on, I'm trying to look up for something. Luckily for us, there are some dashboards already pre-built for us. And Grafana, let me hold on. Grafana Labs, yes, right here. I'll have this link in the URL. So if I go to Grafana Labs or grafana.com, go to Grafana, go to dashboards. These are dashboards that people created, and we could actually use these dashboards for our own purposes. These are here to be used, right? But there already is a dashboard that I use a lot, and if I type in Kubernetes clusters monitoring, don't worry about it. Just, you don't even have to do this. Right here, the very first one, you're gonna see that right here. This is the ID it uses to actually. So that this is the ID that we're going to be using to grab this specific dashboard. Okay, so let's just grab this. So 1621, just remember that. Don't even follow me. Just remember 1621. If you go back over here, click on the plus button. We're going to import a certain dashboard from the Grafana's library, right? So if I type in here 1621 and I hit load, make sure that we're running Prometheus. Import this, and you're gonna see that, hey, we get a dashboard already up and running. It looks nice. It looks way better than the default Prometheus dashboards. This looks way nicer, right? It looks amazing, which is pretty cool. Now you have all the things that look: network IO, pressure, you got total usage, cluster memory usage, cluster CPU usage, and cluster file system usage. It gives you a lot of data that you can keep track of as a DevOps. This is very, very cool. Now, obviously, you could create your own dashboards. So if I didn't have this, let me actually go over here. Go to, where's my home? Right here, home. Discard. I don't want to save that, right? I don't want to save that dashboard. I want to create my own dashboard. Let me get rid of this. Settings, delete dashboard, delete. Right here, you could actually click on create your first dashboard. We're going to add a new panel, and this is where we could add the metrics that we want. Like, remember that CPU. So OS underscore CPU used ratio. That's one of them we looked up before. And there you go. These are all the CPU used for us. We could name it whatever we want. CPU ratio. And we're going to hit apply. And there you go. Here's one chart we could add. We could keep on adding charts. Here's another one. Add another panel. What was the other one? HTTP request duration. Yes, there you go. I'm gonna just say right here, HTTP, apply, and there you go. You could actually move these charts around side by side. It doesn't matter. Create your own. Use a custom dashboards that someone already created. Matter of fact, let's just look at some of these, man. Honestly, I've never been in here to look. This one's very popular. Let me actually look at this one. This is actually the same thing. It doesn't matter. Let me get rid of this. And let's hit refresh. Okay. Let's take a look at some of these. Let me see. Here's a 5-star. I have no idea, man. These look nice. They actually give you what's it called? Images and like how they look and whatnot. So what's it called? Where is it at? Right here. I'm gonna get this one. This one looks super nice. So what I'm going to do is install this one. I like how this one looks. So let's just copy this, the copy ID, go over here. We're going to click on the plus sign, import. We want to import. No, I don't want to save this dashboard. We want to import that. We want to paste the ID, load. Yes, okay. Remember to hit Prometheus. Import. Oh boy. Yeah, it should be. Why isn't it not working? Load, general. Yeah, we're gonna want Prometheus import. Why isn't it working? Okay, let's click on another one. Let's click on another one. It's not working. I don't know why, but let's click on another one. Look at this one, dude. Oh, kind of weird. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I'm just grab the first one. Screw it. I'm just grab this one. I don't know. I'm just copy this ID. Go over here. Oh, there it is. Look at this. It did it for us. Oh, I guess it took a while. But check it out. We could actually import multiple. If you really wanted to, you could import multiples. Come on. There we go. Paste it. Load. Prometheus. Import. And here's another one. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. We've gone through Prometheus. Like I said, Prometheus is just a tool to look at your monitor your application, CPU wise, memory wise, HTTP request duration wise, whatever. It honestly, you could get very, very complicated with your queries on this Prometheus and Grafana and all this stuff. It gets very, very complicated. I mean, you can get complicated with your queries. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this content. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. And if you did, hit that like button and comment down below and subscribe if you have not. And again, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. It really does mean a lot to me. Hope you keep on staying, being with me, supporting me. So thank you guys. And I'll see you in the next video, which is going to be our last, which we're going to be talking about request tracking, which is the last thing. All right, so stay tuned for that, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.